Well, good morning. Hopefully, you've had a pretty good October so far, gotten ready for Halloween. Lots of stuff going on. Halloween is just the start. Once we move into November, it's one thing right after another. A lot of family get togethers and a lot of moms and dads working in the kitchen. As you can tell, I'm in an appliance store today, and yeah, there are appliances here. We're at the Maytag store in Saginaw. Along with me, I've got a couple of folks that we've invited in. BASF has invited in because we want to talk beans today with Joe Kramer and Sherry Steinbach. Joe, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Terry. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Joe, a lot of folks spending time in the kitchens, and I can't think of a better person to talk to than somebody who not only has some great ideas, but she's all about nutrition too.
You're absolutely right. I've learned so much already today, Terry. We've got Sherry Steinbach from Grand Rapids with us today. She's our dietitian that's going to take us through a few different recipes with using some great Michigan beans that are so healthy and so affordable. And by the way, thanks to the folks here at Maytag for letting us steal their kitchen today. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is Sub-Zero Kitchen, and those appliances, they've been working at it for a while. They finally got them all working and put together, and quite frankly, I think Sherry is testing out some of them right now.
Feel right at home here, and I already have some things on my wish list for my home kitchen. This is absolutely beautiful. We're so happy to be here and cooking today. And I love to talk about Michigan beans because they are so versatile. They are so delicious, and they are so incredibly healthy. In fact, I know Joe and I, we were conversing a couple weeks ago. October 16th, right, was World Food Day.
Right.
And beans were named one of the star ingredients because of their nutrition and because of the sustainability efforts that go around growing them. I mean, they actually improve the soil. So that was pretty exciting to see.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. So let's get right to it.
Okay.
I'm getting hungry.
It's smelling pretty good in here. I'm going to turn our burner on, and I have got this started a little bit already just because of time. But what I have in here, Terry, is I've got a medium onion that I've chopped up kind of coarse. We've got 8 ounces of mushrooms. Use your favorite mushrooms, it doesn't matter what kind. And you're going to actually put those into a food processor. You don't want them mush, but you want them really grated up. You can see kind of here, kind of finely. And you're going to put that in your pan and you're going to start to heat that. The water and the mushrooms and the onions is going to come out. It's going to take about 3 to 4 minutes. You'll see that it'll get softer, and that's kind of the stage that we're at now. So we've got onion and mushrooms in there. And I should tell you actually what we're making. It's one of my favorite versatile recipes, and it's a plant powered black bean and lean beef blend. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to create this blend. It's going to have all sorts of healthy ingredients in it, and we're going to use it in 2 different recipes, which I love.
Sherry, we've got the camera on you that is looking at the dishes.
Okay.
So as you explain some of these things, you can talk right directly into that camera and
Sure.
explain how
Okay,
things
I
are
will do
doing.
that. And,
Excellent.
and first of all, I do want to tell you our star ingredient, of course, is going to be some black beans. You can cook, of course, Michigan dry beans, and I like to cook them, freeze them in batches, and use them in recipes. Canned beans, of course, also work great because they're so easy and convenient. I always keep them in my pantry. And what we've got is 2 cans here. I've drained them and I've rinsed them. A lot of people have been asking me as a dietitian, what's this plant forward eating?
Right.
I want to eat more plants. Plant forward does not mean giving up meat, but it does mean celebrating more plants on your plate, such as beans that actually count as a vegetable serving as well as a protein serving because of the nutritional value they have. So this blend certainly does lend towards that eating pattern of plant forward. Some people call it flexitarian, whatever you want to call it. So we've got our black beans in there. We've got the onion and the mushroom mixture. We're going to add some taco seasoning. Now, the recipe calls for a packet of low sodium taco seasoning, and that is perfectly fine. I've actually made up my own taco seasoning. You can find recipes online for that. I probably have about double of what I need here. You can season to taste. So I'm going to put about half of that in. You can smell that, Joe,
It looks
starting
great,
to,
and it does smell great.
yeah. Starting to have some nice fragrance coming off of it there. We've got our seasoning in. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a can of corn. You could add frozen corn if you want. You could drain a can of corn. I go for lower sodium or salt-free, which you can find, especially if that's important to you. The corn is in there. Now we're going to add some crushed tomatoes, and I could not find the smaller can that I needed, so we're gonna add about half of this. It's about 14 or 15 ounces of crushed tomatoes. So not only do you see how many healthy foods are going into this, but you can also see how convenient this is, right?
Sure.
I'm getting a little bit messy here.
You're good.
Clean that up.
I should have brought a bag of my mom's frozen corn.
Oh, that would have been fabulous. Yes. You know, if you freeze sweet corn over the summer, we've got such good corn that would be perfect to add to.
There was a lot of corn available this year too.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
corn was fabulous.
I need to get over there and steal a few bags.
Hey, there you go.
You know, and the other thing people are asking about is just this whole food waste. People want to save money. They're like, I don't want to waste any food.
Right.
This is a great way. You know, I don't know about you, but I always have a half an onion sitting in the refrigerator, and usually there is a bag of frozen corn or a half a bag. You can always add that to it. And of course, our beans that we cook
Looks
up and
great.
freeze. So you can see that's really coming together. And I talked about plant forward does not necessarily mean you have to give up meat. I have a pound of lean ground beef. I've already cooked that ground beef, and you cook it first and you set it aside and drain it. So we're just going to add that ground beef to this. It's been in the refrigerator, so it's a little bit stiff.
Sherry, if I had a can of white beans or red beans, I could use those in place of the black beans.
Absolutely. That's what's nice about this recipe. Think about it too. What if you had some peppers, right? You could add peppers to that. You could add a variety of different things to this.
All right.
It makes it so
Dress it up however you want.
Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do then is just get all of this together. You can see it takes just a few minutes, really. And look at the size of the recipe here. I sometimes make this and use it for one of the recipes that we're going to talk about, and then I put the rest in the freezer to use it again. Now we're going to make a Mexican lasagna with this, and we're also going to make some stuffed peppers. But you could also use this as a filling for tacos, for burritos. I love to do sheet pan nachos, where I put, you know, the tortilla chips on a sheet pan for a family. You've got a tailgating game, watching a football game at home. Halloween party, Terry, you mentioned Halloween's coming here.
I could actually scoop that with a chip.
Yes, so you could exactly just make it even as a dip. Okay, so that looks like it's about done. I hope you can see that. All the colors blended there. Really nice texture, really filling. Right. So let's start on our Mexican lasagna. And Joe, what I'm going to have you do, we've simply got a pan, 9x13 pan here. I have sprayed that with some cooking spray. We're going to put 4 corn tortillas down on that.
Go ahead.
Yep. This is going to be our first layer.
Just like this?
Excellent. 4 corn tortillas. And then we're going to take about 2 cups of our blend. We're going to put that on top. And then, Joe, you're going to get ready with the next 4.
Oh, all right. Layers.
We're going to make layers here, okay? And go right ahead.
This is honestly more work than I've done in the kitchen in some time. But I shouldn't admit that.
But you can see how easy it is.
It is. I could do this.
It's so great. And this is really a kid favorite, too. I mean, who doesn't like It's just another version of lasagna, but it's got all of those delicious Mexican flavors that we all like. But one of my favorite recipes that I simply really make over and over. Another layer on there. So again, this makes about 8 total cups of this plant power black bean and beef blend. And you're going to use about 6 cups of it on this recipe that we're making here, the Mexican lasagna.
Looks great.
So one more scoop.
Terry, we're going to try some of this later.
Yes, indeed. I love it. Yep, one more layer. That's going to be our top layer. So 16 total of the corn tortillas are going to go on there.
Okay.
Yep, excellent. And then we're going to take some low-fat Mexican 4-blend cheese, shredded cheese. We're just going to put that all over the top. And this is going to go in the oven. How simple is that?
Nice.
At 350 for about 25, 30 minutes until you see it bubbling, the cheese is melting, and you can simply cut it up and serve it.
All right.
Oh, easy.
Looks awesome. I
Oh,
think
easy
I
as
could
that.
do that.
I
I
think
think
you
I could
can.
do that. You want me to set that
You
over
can
here?
go take that into the oven and
All
cook
right.
it for us.
All right.
And I'm going to show you our next recipe with the blend. So what we've got here is I've got some beautiful orange peppers. This makes about 4. I just have 3 peppers in here to show you. I like the orange because it is Halloween week and kind of enjoy that. So I've got orange peppers. You can use whatever color you want. I've started with 1 cup of instant brown rice here. There's so many good rices that you can buy now that are, brown rice in the packet. They have nothing in them, just brown rice. And that makes it super easy. And what we're going to do, I can turn this off now, is I'm going to take, should be about 2 cups left of our blend. And I'm going to put those 2 cups right in here. And I'm going to mix it up with that brown rice. So you can see, this is going to be our stuffing for the peppers. Just a little bit more there. I want to get all of it because it's so good. Okay, we've got that in our bowl. Let's just mix that up. So again, everybody loves stuffed peppers, right? And you can, like I say, make these for the family. I have actually made a batch and froze them before. Freeze them in batches of 2 if you want, so you can pull them out for a quick dinner later. And then what we're going to do with this is obviously just fill our pepper halves with those. I will pick one up so you can see what I'm doing there. You can fill them nice and full with that mix. These again are going to, of course, cook in the oven until those peppers get tender, until the filling gets nice and hot. But again, I can't emphasize enough the need to get more plants on our plate. I always kind of talk about this. As a dietitian, it's always been one of the things that I've chatted about for such a long time, that we just have a deficit of fruits and vegetables. And people are wanting to eat affordably now too. So, beans meet that need. Of course, they're affordable, they're versatile. They count as a vegetable, as I said. They also count as a wonderful source of plant-based protein. And I just love to keep them on hand. So easy to use and so delicious and nutritious for us. The fiber in them, the protein in them, just makes them a perfect addition to the diet. Okay, I've got my stuffed peppers. Then what I'm going to do is, on this one, I'm going to take some low-fat mozzarella cheese. I'm going to sprinkle a little cheese on top of each of those. And those are going to go into the oven. And now we have already made 2 dinners. Super
We have
easy.
one viewer already that said yummy.
Yes, yummy is the word for this. Yeah, exactly.
And good for you.
Well, that's the thing. Nutrition doesn't have to taste bad. And sometimes I'll run into people who say that, oh, I'd eat healthy, but it's too expensive and it doesn't taste as good. And absolutely not. Beans are one of the most affordable things that you can purchase. They're one of the most healthy things you can buy. And again, so versatile. Right now, this time of year, soups and stews and chilies and this lasagna, this mixture I made, I challenge everybody to make this at home because I know you're going to love it and I know you're going to find some use for it. Because who doesn't love tacos and burritos and Mexican lasagna?
That's right.
And, Terry, we've got another treat for you today.
Oh, yeah.
So baking with beans is something that I've been experimenting with. And I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite new recipes. These are actually white bean chocolate chip muffins. And they are delicious. They look beautiful. They taste delicious. And these have 2 whole cans of Michigan white beans in them. Or you can cook dry beans and use about 4 cups of them. And you're going to puree those beans into in a food processor, just like I used in this other recipe. A little bit of milk goes in with that, 1/3 of a cup of milk. You're pureeing the beans, and then of course you add your flour, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of butter, chocolate chips, and vanilla, and they are absolutely delicious. High in fiber, very filling. One of these for breakfast with your cup of coffee, and you're going to be set to go. So, how about if we have Joe maybe bring you a sample, Terry?
Hey, that'd be great.
Got it.
I've been waiting for the last 15 minutes. Sherry, you've got to tell me a little bit more. I mean, they are exceptionally appetizing looking. There's something about this that it's very eye appealing.
Yes, they came out really nice. They raised up nice. The color of them is nice, and I just find that that's going to be one of my new go-to recipes. The other thing I thought you could do with it, instead of muffins, you could make them into a chocolate chip bean bread, right? Could easily be made into a bread that could be sliced. And I do have to tell you, with the little bits of chocolate chips in there, they are best when they're slightly microwaved, so those chips are a little melty. Just a hint.
Now, do you have that recipe available to
Yes,
us?
to get the recipe to the viewers is very easy. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Some other tips as far as we getting ready to prepare stuff for the holidays. What do you think?
I encourage people to go to the Michigan Bean website because we have michiganbeans.com because we have some great recipes there. We've got some appetizer recipes. We have a wonderful um, bean dip that you can make. People love hummus. And so that is there. We've got, I think it's a beautiful wreath we did last year. We actually recreated a recipe showing a layered dip with beans, and it's in the shape of a Christmas wreath. So that would be a wonderful recipe as well. But also this time of year with the holidays coming up and being busy, we are also looking for recipes during the week that are quick and easy, like the one I just showed you right here. So we've got a lot of those recipes available as well. So check out our website, definitely.
We've got some guys about the middle of the month. They're going to be heading up north. Deer camp.
Yes.
Give us a hint or two. What do you think we should pack in the bag?
Of course, canned beans are going to be great to pack in the bags. Or if you've made, cook some dry beans on the website as well. I also have tips and a video showing you how to cook Michigan dry beans in an instant pot. Because some people don't cook dry beans because they think it takes too long. Yes, you can soak them overnight and you can cook them on the stove in water. And it takes some time, but if you have the time, it's not difficult at all. But I also show you how to make them in the Instant Pot. And I freeze them. My husband is a hunter. I freeze them in batches. When he goes up to hunting camp, he takes some of those batches of the frozen beans out, and they use them in all sorts of Mexican dishes and chilies and soups and stuff. So really, again, a versatile thing to take up there.
And desserts?
And desserts, of course. Hey, make a batch of these wonderful muffins that I showed you. The protein and the fiber is going to be needed at camp.
And again, not only for the recipes, but also for some nutritional tips, what to eat and whatever, especially because I love to eat, but I don't want to pack on all the pounds that I've been spending the last 10 months trying to get rid of.
That's right.
You've got that information available.
Yeah, we do. And it's all about, as I said, eating more plants, more fruits and vegetables. It's not about giving up any foods that we love. I never tell people that. That's why these delicious muffins here, they have the addition of chocolate chips, right? They have all that nutrition, the goodness of the beans in there. But hey, it's okay if we have a little bit of those little goodies every now and then, of course, right? Halloween's coming up, the candy holiday. We can sneak in a little of that. But if overall, I always say 80-90%, if that 80-90% of your diet is filled with really nutrient-rich foods like Michigan beans, that's what's going to be important. And that's what's going to help us keep our weight down. It's going to help us stay healthy. It's going to support good gut health, all of those things, especially now that we're looking forward to, doing for our families, really keeping everybody healthy. And affordability, that's the other thing, that eating healthy does not have to be expensive. It can certainly be very affordable.
And a lot of these recipes you can prepare at home if you've got to take it to a family event. Kind of bring a dish to pass.
Well,
You got some great ideas.
Yeah, certainly. Really is some good ideas. Even just mixing a variety of canned beans together. Sometimes I just take a good jarred salsa or fresh salsa and I mix a can of beans in there and a can of corn to just pump up the nutrition and the texture and the flavor of that. So lots of ideas. On our website too, we also have tips on adding more beans to your diet. They're great to sprinkle on salads. We mentioned soups and stews, of course. So they're just good in so many different recipes.
Well, Sherry, we really appreciate you coming over from Grand Rapids. It's been a thrill to see you in person,
Yes, it's been
and
great.
hopefully we'll have a chance to do this again. And again, we want to thank the folks at Art Noe Maytag for the use of their Sub-Zero kitchen. Just an absolutely beautiful thing to work in. And Sherry's family, if you're watching, okay, I think she's got some ideas, maybe. You know, we all like to buy Christmas gifts when we know you're going to use them. And I think you'd use some of this stuff here, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sherry, again, thank you very much. Joe Kramer, thank you very much for bringing Sherry over. We really appreciate it, from the Michigan Bean Commission. And we want to say thank you, certainly, to the folks from BASF, as we're talking beans, getting ready for the holidays.
It's never just been a field. It's a lab where beakers and vials are corn stalks and bean pods. It's 1,000 dinners on 1,000 plates throughout the world. It's the engine of the American economy. It's our survival. It's never been just a field. It's our future. All of ours. Your field is the future. BASF, we create chemistry.